federal agency says that an average of 38 children a year die after being left inside of hot cars. That's why law enforcement says that if you see a child left in a hot and locked car, grab something sharp and heavy and break the glass. During the search, this DJI drone flew from ground level up to 300 feet. There is treatments like ointments, procedures, and light therapy. And Dr. Kent says you can even cover it up with some makeup called Dermablend. But unfortunately, there is no cure for vitiligo, and for some of his patients, it has caused a bit of discomfort. Now, in about an hour, you'll see a couple of kids hop on this float and start to sing songs like Santa Claus is coming to town. And the fun starts this Saturday at 8:30 a.m. And you'll be able to see and feed some of these alpacas up close and personal. Those brightly lit Christmas trees that get people in the Christmas spirit can be a hazard. According to the National Fire Prevention Association, Christmas trees cause about 200 house fires a year nationwide. We wanted to know whether or not a real or artificial Christmas tree was safer. It's no secret who Carolyn Freeman's favorite team is.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Known as the Atlanta Falcons Bird Lady, she's decked out from head to toe in the team's colors of red, black, and silver.
Just the feeling that has been flowing this entire season when you know that it's going to happen.
Freeman wasn't always known as the Bird Lady. She's a former officer who says she almost died in a car accident while doctors tried to revive her.
The third time, after he says, call it, time of death, and the guy says, no, well, she's young. She never had any heart problems. I think we're giving up.
After that, she was bedridden for 12 years, but says she found the strength to move on.
It's time to get over this pity party. I'm not going to die in this bed. No, can't. Those are words that are not in my vocabulary, okay? So I thought, okay, I love football, love the Falcons. Falcons are going to get me out of this bed.
So she headed to the game and started dancing, and the rest is history. She dresses up at every game and gets the crowd hyped for the team.
These guys deserve it. They deserve it. They have put in the work. They've done it. They planted the collard greens. They picked them. They washed them. They cooked them. Now it's time to eat them.
She's raffling off 25 Super Bowl tickets, and she's taking 9 buses of people with her to the Super Bowl.
Meet me in Houston. Bird Lady loves you.
In Macon, Gabrielle Dawkins, 13 WMAZ Eyewitness News. People watched the viral video of Star Swain singing more than 30 million times.
And then when they asked me what was her name, I said, I'm going to name her Star because she's going to be a star.
Her mother says Star started singing around 4 years old. Star Swain attended Progressive Christian Academy.
Because that is where I was groomed from 3rd grade all the way through on how to sing, how to project, how to, do everything as it relates to music and performance.
Her parents, Benny and Sheila Crawford, talked about what they feel when she sings.
I hear power. I hear a calmness. Because she has always sung from the heart. She loves the Lord so much, and just that coming out of her, it's so real.
During the interview, her father teared up with pride. He remembers being by her side through many of her performances.
Well, she used to be in plays all the time.
An alumna of Northeast High School and Florida A&M University, her mother remembers people telling her that she's special.
People would come to me and say, I just want to touch her. People would tell me that I just want to touch her. There's something special about her. And it was amazing to me.
She now lives in Tallahassee and sings at Family Worship and Praise Center. Swain says she never imagined that the video would go viral.
Yes, definitely plan on taking it to a new level. What's next is there are going to be a lot of different appearances. So I want everybody to be looking out.
She says she's living up to her name. In Macon, Gabrielle Dawkins, 13 WMAZ Eyewitness News.
When unpacking and packing my bag, I always put my rope first and always put it last.
18-year-old Trey Kimsey gets ready for the Georgia National Rodeo, just like he does any other rodeo. Today, he's riding bulls for competition fun, but his riding days didn't start that way.
When I was 6 years old, riding sheep was pretty dang fun.
This is video of him performing in Wyoming at a high school national rodeo.
Keep going, move, move, move. Go ahead.
But today, as he rides,
You're going to see tonight, Trey Kimsey, come on. Come on, Trey.
the crowd cheers.
There's not much going through your mind. Everything's just goes blank.
He scored 85 points at the rodeo, and not to mention, he is in a family of talents. This is his sister. Marty Barnes, the owner of the rodeo, says the race is tight and the bull rider who wins will take home a grand prize of about $2,600.
There was a lot of good rides last night. There was a couple good wrecks, a couple concussions, which is bad to see, but it wasn't broken bones and internal injuries.
Kimsey attends about 100 rodeos a year and plans to make a living out of this.
It is a lifestyle. You have to go up and down the road, living, breathing, sleeping rodeo.
He says the main goal is to make it to the National Finals Rodeo Championship so that he can follow in his brother's footsteps and bring home the grand prize. In Perry, Gabrielle Dawkins, 13 WMAZ Eyewitness News.
Let's just say $1. It's always
Alicia Jackson says she first noticed her vitiligo in the 6th grade.
It just started off like a little spot over my eye. It was real tiny.
But as she grew, the spots grew too, covering more areas of her body.
One little tiny dot on my eye led to some spots on my knees and on my feet.
Her hands and neck show visible signs of the discoloration.
I look at it as a perfect imperfection that God blessed me with.
But Jackson ran into a few people with the same condition who viewed it differently.
You would just be so surprised as to how many people, I'll just say, suffer in silence because they don't know much about it or they're ashamed of having it.
David Kent, a dermatologist with 30 years of experience, says vitiligo is an autoimmune disease that affects roughly 1% of the population, not just African Americans, but of all races.
We see it in adults, men and women. It doesn't pick on just one particular group of people.
He says that it's common around the nose and mouth, and it's painless.
There's some specific cells called lymphocytes or T cells that attack the pigment cells, and they just disappear.
There is treatments like ointments, procedures, and light therapy. And Dr. Kent says you can even cover it up with some makeup called Dermablend. But unfortunately, there is no cure for vitiligo, and for some of his patients, it has caused a bit of discomfort.
The vitiligo causes a lot of patients emotional upset and distress. A lot of these patients feel stigmatized because of their appearance, and there is a higher incidence of depression.
Jackson says she's never tried to cover up the skin that she's in.
And vitiligo just happens to be something that makes me unique.
O-E-S.
She teaches that message to her students at the Georgia Academy for the Blind to appreciate a world full of unique people.
This is what I have, is not who I am.
In Macon, Gabrielle Dawkins, 13 WMAZ Eyewitness News.